President William Samoei Ruto had the best opportunity to redeem himself after the first mistakes that he made before, during, and less than 2 years after elections. When youths went to the streets, they had valid reasons, and they were talking about pertinent issues that were not only bedeviling them as youth, but even their parents. And they made it very clear. It was not an opaque kind of protest. They told William Ruto there's massive corruption, wastage, a corrupt cabinet. They had a number of issues. And for a moment, William Ruto felt scared and he succumbed. But William Ruto is like a doctor who knows exactly what is ailing a patient, and then he's giving intentionally wrong diagnosis. Because when he realized that he had been cornered, instead of confronting the issues that were brought forward by the Gen Zs and at large by Kenyans and civil rights groups, he decided to go for a government of what we call a broad-based government, a government of national unity or something. And with that, that is what he gave as the remedy to what Gen Zs were talking about. Then he brought back the very cabinet and replaced a few members here and there. And with that, he thought that now, he was like asking the Gen Zs utadu. And in essence, experts are saying that what William Ruto is doing is a moment of exuberance. It is a reprieve, but it's reprieve that is short-lived, because what he did was to cut this tree, but did not uproot it. So the tree, the roots are still growing, and before he knows it, the tree shall have grown into another menace that he has to deal with. There is a lot of rage in the country. People are angered. Even though he tried to silence people by the police, and people were killed, and the blood of the innocent people were killed are still calling out for justice, people are saying that a luta continua. Even though when you ask Ruto, he thinks that this is over. If you want to know that there is a lot of rage, then wait for a moment when members of citizens get an opportunity and hold on to someone that they feel they don't want. You saw them greeting. Walikuwa nasema tunasalimia wabunge. Those members of parliament who voted yes for the finance bill 2023 were greeted. They couldn't speak. They couldn't talk in church. They couldn't even meet one-on-one with Gen Zs. In fact, for a moment, Gen Zs had taken over. But William Ruto decided that he was giving us a narrative that it was Rigathi Gachagua that wanted to topple his government. Right now, they are investigating some of his staff members. But I want to ask you, if William Ruto knows the elements who wanted to topple his government, how is that connected to Gen Zs? Because he's telling us they infiltrated the Gen Zs protest. Does it now mean that if Gen Zs had real issues, pertinent issues, yet some people infiltrated their protest, then we stop looking at the very issues and instead look for the people who infiltrated the protest? If you ask me, we should look for those who infiltrated the protest, if at all they are there, deal with them, but at the same time never stop to look at the issues that were talked about. Now, yesterday, the Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja decided to go and visit Toy Market after it fell under Inferno. And members felt that Sakaja is joking around with them, because after that place was burnt down, in his usual manner, politicians love this, he went there promising them that he will compensate, I don't know, a pole, some nails, he will compensate them to ensure that they build more structures. And people are raged. They decided to do away with Sakaja. They chased Sakaja in a video that you've seen. And I want us to watch this video because it's gonna corroborate to you that William Ruto should be a worried man. When he thought that by forming a coalition government, by trying to silence people using the bullets, he thought that he had managed Kenyans in instilling fear. Look at what happened to Sakaja, and it will tell you that William Ruto is sitting on a time bomb. If he doesn't deal with the issues right now, very soon it will overwhelm him. Let's relook at what happened to Johnson Sakaja. A lot of rage by people who feel we have been hoodwinked for a long time now.
Amefukuza Sakaja ni sisi. Ndio tumempiga mawe. Usidanganywe.
Haya mwingine. Sakaja tumemfukuza sisi wenyewe ndio ambao tumemfukuza kwa sababu hii hakutuma zima moto kwa wakati. Moto soko imeungua hapa hivi kwa muda mrefu. Sasa hizi ndio anajifanya kukuja hapa ni kama anakea. Ajali, angekuwa na ajali angetutumia zima moto. Kweli uongo? Na mbona tunajua kama imechelewa? Sisi hakuna guns, hakuna guns imefukuza Sakaja. Ni sisi wana soko.
If someone cannot tell William Ruto that what happened to Sakaja, coupled with what happened during the 3 weeks of Gen Z's protest, is something that should worry him, then I will repeat what I've always said. That the king is naked, but everyone is telling him that, King, you are donned in your Sunday best. Johnson Sakaja was the darling of Nairobians. And I remember how he said as a senator back then, together with Mutula Kilonzo Jr., they were given the name super senators. And they articulated issues that were bedeviling Nairobians. And for some moment, I looked at Sakaja even during the interview when they were together with Polycarp Igade. And he outwitted Polycarp. And people felt that he had won their heart. He knew what Nairobians wanted. And so he was voted overwhelmingly, even by those who voted for Raila Azimio supporters. But then you look at Sakaja today is a shadow of his former self. First, there are allegations of corruption in the city, allegations of incompetent staff. Some people are appointed into offices with degrees of theology and all this. While having a degree in theology is not bad, but they are placed in dockets that they don't understand. And then members there are saying that you should not even say that it is goons that chase Sakaja. It is what we call the business community in Toy Market. They felt that Sakaja had taken too long. They felt that the system is not working. Where are the firefighters? Because when Sakaja was articulating issues that are bedeviling Nairobians and how he will deal with them, he had talked about firefighters, I don't know, was it in every ward? I don't know. And they felt that he rather came too late. And after coming, he was promising them. You know, politicians love to thrive in a crisis and a problem. That whenever Gikomba is burnt or fire rages in any market, they would come there with promises. Because these politicians believe that we should be given handouts. They never want to put proper channels so that we can do business properly. They don't want to stop fires and protect us from the fires. They want fire to rage our market, our businesses. Then they come to compensate, thereby making a name. And so they didn't want to hear this. William Ruto and Sakaja are no different. It is the same thing that happened to Sakaja that happened to William Samoei Ruto. And I was saying that William Ruto must not postpone looking at issues that have been, brought forward. He should look at them very holistically, because these are things that he understands. I'm one person who believes that, yes, we can look into our constitution. Why? When we passed that constitution, we said there was a percentage that was somehow wanting, and we promised that we'd look at the chapters later. And so this is the time. But then, talking as in having a broad-based, I don't know that we need to talk about what is ailing our nation. It's a fallacy that is meant to ensure that we kill Gen Z's momentum of protesting and asking questions. Because you cannot talk to a person who has revived and reinstated most of the cabinets that people never wanted, and he tells us that he wants us to talk. When people want to talk, the first thing he should have done was to ensure that he kicks out the cabinet the way he did and brings a new cabinet that has got all gender, that has got all age group, especially the youth. Because it is a slap in the face, on the face for youth when they went to the streets, and then when a government is formed, the people who get there are recycled. Former CSS just swapping, going into certain dockets, and their dockets are taken by others, and then you have former governors and all that. Gen Zs feel that William Ruto does not take them seriously. And ladies and gentlemen, very soon, like I said, this is a time bomb. It will explode on us, and it will be very late. It will be too late for us. William Ruto had the best chance of uniting the country. And how do you unite a country? How do you unite a country? You dissolve the PSS. You dissolve the cabinet. You ensure that all the parastatal heads are recalled. And then you start looking at issues one by one. You start jailing those who are corrupt. You allow the independent institutions to perform their work rather than capturing them, because we have a state capture of DCI and the Office of Public Prosecutions and the courts and all this. But what William Ruto is telling people is that he does not care. He's asking them what they will do, because he already has the support base of certain politicians. And with that, he thinks that he can now deal with us, move with impunity, and nothing will happen. But soon, William Ruto will realize that when a generation rises up, it is not very easy to control them. When they rise up for the second time, they will know that we have been killed. We know that there's a coalition government. We know that as we go to the street, we might not come back. And it will be too late. The rage is real, and William Ruto must deal with it. Otherwise, it will overwhelm him. Because Gen Zs are saying it is time to kick out all the political class, because they are the same. They look at us as if they are the owners of the nation. They look at us as if we are the children of a lesser God. It will come to pass sooner than soonest.